Hi, it's Jane. And on today's WOTWIP and Coffee, we do a little chatting. I am going to show you the bags that will be up in the shop. When you see this, it'll be up. Needed a drink. It's been a day, folks. It's been a day. First, let me show you the bags. The drawstring bags all are 13 inches wide by 14 long, the 4.5 inch to 5 inch box bottom. First one is this lovely polar bears. Don't they look refreshing and that cool? And then the interior has a blue batik fabric in it. It's only one of those. It's only one of this fella. Minions. And of course the interior is just a yellow interior. Then I have one of the farm animals. And the interior on it is a pink print. And then I have 3 of the what I'm calling honeybees. These are honeybees in the box hives with flowers and all kinds of things. But you can see the honeybee is in there, and there's their beehives. And the interior has that honeycomb print on all of these. That is it for drawstring. Now, I do have some tote bags as well. And there's one of the Minions. And again, the interior is that yellow interior. And these bags measure 15 wide by 13 tall, 5 inch box bottom. They all come with a zippered notions pouch. This is the only one that is 7 by about 4.5 inches. The rest of the pouches are 7 by 5. Do have one in the polar bear. And it, of course, has that pretty blue on the inside. And there's the notions pouch. They also have snaps. They do have one snap on them to help keep them closed. I do have 2 of the honeybees. And they gotta find the notions pouch. Both those pouches have the red top to match that flower. Then they also have the snap. They do have the interior that is the honeycomb print. These two both have black snaps on them. Just thought that kind of went with the honeybee instead of putting red or, green or something like that. For some reason I thought, black. Black for the snap. And then I have one llama. Now the llama has a pretty little heart snap on it. The interior is that pink flower print, and the notions pouch has like that lime green that's in the print. This is, I don't remember if this is a Hobby Lobby print or if this one is one that I got at Joann's, maybe even Walmart. I don't know. And then I have one of the farm animals. And it has a light blue snap, heart snap, pink interior as well. And then there is the tote. The potions for the tote, notions pouch for the tote. Told you it's been a day, guys. Yesterday, I had a doctor's appointment with a cardiologist because when I did my lovely welcome to Medicare, my results for the EKG showed a change from the last time I had an EKG, which was probably maybe 3 years ago. So she wanted it checked out, did an echocardiogram, and the echocardiogram showed that I have normal ejection rate. Everything is normal with my heart, sort of. So I'll get into that in a moment. With the exception of that left atrium the wall is a little thickened. So she wanted to have me go over, see a cardiologist just to, talk about the risk. That's what we were doing, talking about the risk of an atrial fib later on in life, what to look for, double check to make sure I hadn't had it, that kind of thing. Well, of course, when you get into the cardiologist office, first thing they do is they go over your history, and talk with you about, do you have any chest pain in your past or shortness of breath? And, I'm like, well, I'm fat, so I get shortness of breath on exertion if I'm climbing stairs or have to walk fast. Hello? And so that was basically it. And then they do an EKG. I believe it's 12 lead EKG, I believe. And then they do a blood pressure sitting and standing, all that kind of fun stuff. And then the cardiologist comes in. She comes in, she explains who she worked with, a little bit about herself, and how she got to be where she's at, and all this fun stuff. And then she says to me, I noticed you're diabetic, and I will tell you with what I'm seeing on the EKG, you have a couple of red flags. And I'm like, okay, sorry about hitting the stand. I'm like, okay, what kind of red flags? She goes, well, let me tell you a little bit about what I think you may have. It's called cardiac amyloidosis. Basically, what it means is the proteins that are in my blood get folded over in the heart, and then they can cause like plaque, which would thicken the walls and all kinds of things, and lead to other problems. She said, in the past, we have only found this post-mortem, but we've started looking at some things and seeing that there are red flags that kind of give us a clue that there needs to be something done. I said, okay. So we discussed that, and she said, well, let me tell you what your red flags are. You have carpal tunnel syndrome, not just one hand, both hands. I said, yeah, but that can be explained away between the knitting, crocheting, and sewing that I do. She said, yes, it could. She said, you also have an issue with bruising that's unknown. Nobody knows what the cause of the bruising is. My platelet counts are fine, everything, so I shouldn't have this crazy unknown bruising. I also have had inflammation in my body for years. I would say the last 20 years, blood work always shows I have some kind of inflammation. We have always assumed that it was fibromyalgia and my allergies. She said, yes, that can explain it, but that is a red flag for this process, this disease process. She said, since we've been noticing those kind of things in the past probably 15 years, we're beginning to see people who come in with it that we see before they pass away, and they're in trouble physically, cardiac-wise. She said, "You're not. You're right now, everything is normal, with the exception of that one little left atrium where the wall is starting to thicken." I'm like, okay, She goes, "So I would like to run some tests to see if you do indeed have this, so that we can start getting on top of it if that is what the cause of that thickening is." I'm like, I'm game. Let's go for it. Well, then she proceeds to tell me the test. There are a couple of blood tests, got no problem with that. There's a 24-hour urine that you have to do, which I'm doing right now. And the cats are confused because they don't understand why I go to the bathroom, don't flush, and why I'm pouring things into a jug. They look at me like, "Are you crazy?" Which that's rather funny, because they follow me to the bathroom. They are both fascinated when you flush the toilet. Ronan especially. So, yeah. So there's that, and then you need to have a CAT scan of the heart, which that is scheduled. And then she said, and then afterwards, if we do find that you are positive for a lot of these factors and your blood work and everything showing, then we would like to send you to Pittsburgh for possibly an MRI of the heart and or a biopsy of the heart for final confirmation. I'm like, well, I'm okay with everything but the biopsy. Because who wants to have a biopsy of their heart done? And so, she goes, yeah, I understand that, but, that's further down the road. Some of these tests that I'm ordering, it'll take weeks for them to come back to me anyway. So I'd like to see you back in a month. In the meantime, I want you to document if you're having any heart fluttering, any episodes of dizziness, or anything like that. And I'm like, okay, fine, no issue. She said the only red flag that I did not have is that I'm not a black male. I'm like, well, darn. Oh, and she also wants me to have a sleep study done too. So we're going to be looking into scheduling that, but it'll be done at home instead of going to the hospital or, a sleep clinic for that. So I'm like, yay me, can I have something normal? No, I have something abnormal. Anyway, I don't know if I have it or not. I talked with my sister who worked in our cath lab in Dallas and was talking with her, and she goes, that is a very odd diagnosis to come by. She goes, when we start talking about things, she goes, yeah, you do have you have those red flags. But she said almost every one of them can be explained by the fact that you have diabetes and or fibromyalgia. Sorry about that, folks. So I'm like, yeah, I know. So we're looking at that, and she said, why is she having you do the 24-hour urine test? We stopped doing that years ago. If you do the blood work, you don't need that. Like, I don't know. Get more money? I got nothing. So, yeah. So we did talk about that a little bit. Then she talked about the medications that she would like me to be on in place of the current insulin that I am on and the current oral diabetic medication. One of them was Januvia because I am on Actos, and that is contraindicated if you have this actual cardiac issue. She said, but we'll address that later. Then she said, instead of the regular insulin, would you consider going on Ozempic? And I said to her, I had already discussed this with Dr. Gertz. I had gastroparesis. We don't know if the gastroparesis was caused by high blood sugar or something else. Sorry about that, the battery died. I hadn't had any active signs of diabetes from about 1995 till I was diagnosed in 2004, 5, So, those kind of medications are out for this. And she said, well, then you know what's coming next because I'm a cardiologist. I want you to lose that weight. So, yeah, I know. I'm working on it. Have been working on it. And will continue to work on it. So, yeah. It's been a week. So, how's your week been? How are things with you? And what are you working on? I am working on that moss stitch blanket that I had started, and I'm about here. Do need to start putting a marker in it when I'm finished for the day, or today, so I can see where I'm at later on. Yeah. Who watched the debates last night? I'm sorry, guys, that was pretty scary. I watched it and I clearly see our current president is not in any physical or mental shape to be president. And I don't think, well, I'll just put it this way, I know he can't handle 4 more years. So I've been saying a prayer for him and his health and those around him, that they'll become more aware of this. Unless, of course, the Democrats' plan was all along to get him elected and then claim him unfit and slip Kamala Harris in. And I'm sorry, she scares me to death. So I don't know. It's a little scary. You keep seeing everybody talking about we're getting closer to living out Revelation in the Bible, and I'm beginning to see it really big time. But yeah. And then, Facebook past couple of weeks, off and on, I've been restricted for a couple of hours. Like yesterday, I was restricted for 7 hours. Then after the 7th hour, about 8.5 hours, I decided to post something, share something. Couldn't share it because now I'm restricted for 24. As of yesterday. Of course, have no clue what I did, whatever it was against their community standards. Yeah, right. Like they have any community standards. I don't know about you, but I see porn posted on there. I see all kinds of scams that are perpetrated, not only from people, but companies there. What else? People who clone accounts, those kind of things. To some just downright hateful things, which apparently doesn't go against their community standards, because when you report them, you get a notice back saying that doesn't go against our community standards. Which kind of makes me wonder, do you even have any? And when you go to look at it, when you look at the community standards, they just tell you they have community standards. They don't tell you exactly what they are. So, then of course the Supreme Court, basically gave big tech the permission to censor everybody. So, part of me is like, what's the point of social media if you can't say what's on your mind and voice your opinion? So, I guess from now on I will share funny memes. I will share the religious things that I want to share. Not only that, but I will share different things like that and crochet memes and all the fun stuff. And of course, I will like things. I will comment on people's posts that I like. You know, all the normal stuff I do. Of course, I'm not real sure how you can like something too fast. I mean, sometimes you're scrolling down Facebook, see a picture you like, you press like, scroll down a little bit further, see another one, press like. You know, how slow do they think you need to be? You're only allowed to like things or love things once every 20 minutes? Now, I have a friend who his entire Facebook profile is gone. And I'm like, well, did they send you an email telling you that they were going to delete it or anything? He goes, nope, nothing. I said, well, did you post something that went against community standards? He goes, you know they don't have any. So, who knows? Maybe they're doing, something good and wonderful, they think, like giving us a new button or changing a feature. Who knows? And then I laugh because I'm like, well, I'm sure what it is I had reposted that video from, is it Script Keeper? Who does parodies. That's what most of his stuff is about. Parodies, left and right. And I did the one, where the press secretary was explaining away that, the president had found a nickel or a quarter on the stairs going into the plane, so he was stopping to pick it up. And when he was asleep, sitting in the one meeting, he wasn't sleeping; he was meditating. I did share that, so maybe that's what got me the 24-hour ban. But we know me, I'm still going to do it. Till they kick me off. Who knows, I might be next. Yeah, but that debate was something else. I think I watched about an hour of it before I said, I'm done, I can't do any more of this. This is painful to watch. Extremely painful. I mean, Biden has that vacant look, like what I saw my mother-in-law when she was starting out with that dementia. He just has that look about him, like he has no clue what's going on. He doesn't know where he's at. He doesn't know what people are saying. And a couple of times I saw it where it was almost where some of my end-stage dementia patients were. We call them Alzheimer's, where they were. Saw that. Like I said, it just scares me. The man is not well. Not well at all. And I think it's kind of cruel that they keep thinking he can do another 4 years. That's just cruel. It's cruel to us as a nation and the voters, and it's cruel to him. So yeah. I mean, he's 81, folks. He can barely get across the stage. He's been known to shake hands with curtains. Come on. Scary. All right, let me get off that. I've been going through a lot of the things, and I did find a tote that I have some of that high dollar fancy yarn. And I noticed that I'm about maybe 30 subscribers away from 4,000. So when I reach that 4,000, I am going to pull some yarn out of there in one of my bags and give that as a giveaway. So I'm hoping that comes up pretty soon, but you know, the way that YouTube has been doing with unsubscribing, I mean, I went in yesterday and I had to sign in 4 times, which is really unusual. But they had deleted a subscription that I have had since day one, and it's someone I watch every day. So I'm like, what on earth are they doing? And you know, I told you, you already have to, if you're a content provider, you already have to tell them whether you have made what's it called? Content, cloned content creator or used AI, or if you've changed the looks of something to make it appear something that it is not, that kind of thing. So who knows what they're doing for us coming up. But I do know that I've been getting a whole lot more ads from YouTube itself wanting me to purchase their no ad feature, which I'm not about to do that. I do not mind watching ads. If that's how I can help another content creator make money, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch those ads, and I will tell you, I will watch about a minute of those forever ads. You know, some of those ads that go on 20 to 45 minutes. I'll watch about a minute of it before I'll click skip and move on. But I know that is how your content creators make money, is from the ad revenue. So I do watch people's ads. The only thing that ticks me off are those people that are not monetized and they place so many ads in their videos. That I don't think is right. I can see doing an ad at the beginning and an ad at the end, but after that, if they do not have 1,000 people and they cannot be monetized, I don't think they should have more than 2 ads. But that's me. And you know how opinionated I am. I can be wrong, and sometimes people will change my opinion. But, gotta prove it. The cats have been having fun with those boxes. When I bring boxes in, they're busy. They are busy getting into those boxes, playing, that kind of thing. I have this, it's not really a crate, it's cloth with PVC pipes, but it's a place where they can go in and hide. And it's actually made for 2 big dogs, but I got it so that they could have a little hideaway. They, from the time I got them, had nothing to do with it. They found it this weekend. Now, I have shown it to them. I've put them in it. There's a blanket in there, and there's a couple of toys. They would have nothing to do with it. This week, they've been in it. They've slept in it. They've played in it, everything else. Who knows? Sometimes I wonder what gets in these cats' heads. You know? Now I will tell you, this afternoon, as I was sewing, I hear Izzy, and I know she's got something in her mouth, because she's kind of doing her little which means she's looking for me. So I'm like, I'm in here, Izzy. Let me grab what she brought me. She came carrying in a pair of readers. Now these are not my readers. These are a pair of Thomas's readers. And I thought I had gotten rid of all of them because our script is a little different than each other's. His was, I think, 2, and I need a 2.5 or 3, or 2.75, depending on the day. So I'm like, where on earth did she find those? I have no clue. So she come walking in with them in her mouth. I told her, you can't have those, baby. Those are not for you to have as a little lovey. She brings in her little stuffed toys. She's got a couple of stuffed toys she carries around for comfort. And when she's lonely or, sort of freaked out, she'll bring them in to me and wants me to hold them and pet her at the same time. Strange cat. But yeah. And I don't know if I told you, but Izzy likes nectarines. I was eating a nectarine, and she was sitting right here, and she kept, nuzzling in, kept sniffing. So I held it. She sniffed it, took a bite, came back for another bite. Strange. Now Ronan does enjoy French onion dip when he can get it. Potato chips. He likes potato chips. And he likes to lick the butter off of popcorn. He will not eat the popcorn. Izzy will eat the popcorn. So yeah, these cats are a little crazy sometimes. What are you going to do? You just keep on. I have also been working on a couple of squares for Billy, Crafty Floridian. She is still calling for 6-inch squares. And I think she said she got about 24 blankets done and she needs more squares. So I am working on some squares. I've pulled some yarn out of a couple of the totes so I can do some squares and send them to her. Right now, the ones I'm working on are like Christmas colors. She does want Christmas, Halloween colors, and St. Patrick's Day. So, of course, the ones I'm crocheting up in the green, she could use either way, Christmas or St. Patty's. So, there's that, right? I hope your weather has been good. Ours has been kind of weird. The other day we had a pretty bad rainstorm that came through. It's the same night there was a tornado in Pittsburgh, which that's highly unusual. And the power went out for probably about 4 hours where I'm at. wasn't too bad because the house stays pretty cool. I don't normally have to run the air conditioner a lot. Of course, last week when it was so brutally hot, it came on quite frequently. But this week it's come on maybe twice. So that's been good. I haven't been out to work in the yard at all. Well, not yard. Should I call it my dirt? My land? My weeds? My bamboo? I haven't been at all out there this week to work on that. And of course, since I haven't been out there this week, it's gotten high again. So I've got to go out and cut it and cut some other things. Do need to spray the weeds again. I do have next Wednesday is the day that I get my tooth pulled, the one that broke. And he had been wanting to do the bone graft in with it. So I called him this afternoon, told him, no, I don't want to do the bone graft. Decided against it, just don't feel comfortable with it. So I'm going to pass. And he's perfectly fine with that. So yeah. So I'm looking forward to that, not being able to eat for a couple of days. Well, soups. That's okay. I'll get some ice cream. Get some ice cream, a little bit of milk, make some milkshakes. Get some fruit and make some fruit smoothies. I'll be good. It'll be fine. So yeah. And I have pulled the shirt out because I'm going to start working on it a little bit here and there. Would like to get it finished because that will be a nice top to wear in the summer. They have started back with the concerts out at the Lamar Lighthouse. So we've been going out every Sunday evening for those. And of course, last Sunday, the storm was pretty bad. But it was fine. Had a good time, enjoyed it. And they bring in different gospel groups. So that's really, it's really nice. You get a little taste of a little bit of everything. You get a little country, get some bluegrass, you get some classical, you get some regular, I don't want to call it New Age, more contemporary Christian music. Do get to listen to those kind of things. So yeah, it's been great, it's been fun. And it's the time of year that I absolutely love. I love being able to go out to those concerts and sit back, enjoy. Generally, I do crochet before. I don't always crochet during. Just because I enjoy watching. The interaction between the group. Last week, like I said, we saw the Needhams. And one of the members of my church, like I said, they have been friends with them for 56 years because when they lived in New York, the fellow that's the oldest fellow, the father of the group, had come over to help them move in and bring them dinner, and they just became fast friends. So it's rather interesting to know that they've been friends for 56 years now. So that's rather amazing to see. You don't always see those kind of friendships around these days, So it's nice to see. And to see that they generally care for each other. Of course, the Needhams stayed with them, I think. Not sure if they did or not. No, they didn't, because their van had broken down in Hanover. So one of the members, the drummer, who is married to the lead singer, one of his friends in Hanover, PA, because that's where the drummer is from, lent them their truck so they could get down for the concert while they're working on the van to figure out what's wrong with it. So yeah, it's always interesting to be out there in the campground area. And of course, this week is their big family camp. They generally have an adult Bible study in the mornings during the week, but I've decided I'm not going to go. I have too much to do here between having to pack things up and, do some real sorting of the stuff that I did move that I probably should not have moved. So yeah, that's always fun, isn't it? Not. And I had a friend who told me, why don't you have some people over to help you? Well, I've been thinking long and hard about that, and I'll tell you why. When I moved the last time, I hadn't gotten everything put away, everything put in boxes the way I like it, that kind of thing. Basically, I'd moved things off the big furniture and had asked them just to move the big furniture. They didn't have to worry about what the totes and some of the other boxes, those kind of things. And it was my church members who moved me. They moved everything. And some of it they were just tossing into boxes. And I'm the type of person, when I move, I like to take the box and I like to put on the box where it's from, like living room. And then in a notebook, I put living room. I give that box a number, 1. And in the notebook, I say living room 1. It generally has these items. I didn't get to do that. And so that's part of the reason I sit and think, I don't know if I want to ask someone to come in and to help me pack things up. But there's a part of me that says, I think I will. I think I'm going to. And most likely what I will do is I will give them an area to do, and tell them leave the boxes open. Don't close them. Don't tape them shut. So that way I can kind of look in them, see what's in it, put it in my notebook, number the box, and go on. So I'm thinking, yeah, maybe I'll do that this time. Because most of the things that are in the house already are things that will be moving, with me. Some of the things that are in the garage will not be going with me, simply because I don't know why I moved them here in the first place. Should have gotten rid of them, given it away, whatever. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that right now. And I found a bunch of my beads for my beading days. And quite a bit of those beads I'm thinking about either putting on Facebook Marketplace, or eBay. Just selling them as general lots. I have a ton of the Swarovski crystals that I used to use in beading, making different things. Some of those I may still keep to use to make stitch markers, but I think for the most part a lot of those are going to leave. So yeah, it's just getting them all put together in a lot. Figuring out the description for the lot, putting it up wherever to sell, to get rid of. Those kind of things. Because like I said, there are certain things that I know I'm not going to be doing anymore. I know I'm not going to be beading with the 11-aught, 15-aught beads. Like I was saying, camera cut off. I'm not going to be beading with those 15-aught, 11-aught beads anymore. Mainly I would use 6, 8-aught because I can use those with crochet thread, you know, to crochet either into items or even make the crochet beaded ropes that I used to make. I love doing that. Found that fascinating and very therapeutic. The only part I didn't like was having to put all those beads on the string because you have to pre-string. And of course you never know how many you need. And I'm the type of person, when I do a crochet rope, a beaded rope, I don't want to have to add in string. You know, I want it all to be there, ready to go. So, yeah, there is that. But yeah, those are some of the things that I'm looking at, just need to be getting rid of. You know. And I found, I had forgotten, you know, really that Thomas had bought a Wii. I mean, he never used it. And he had told me about it. But you know, I really didn't care about messing with the Wii. Of course, nowadays, nobody uses the Wii anymore. But it has all kinds of games. You know, things you can do for exercise on it. And so I'm looking at that and thinking, do I really want to hook that back up or not? You know? Or do I just want to get rid of it? You know, maybe I'll give it to one of the nursing homes so that they can use it for their clients. I know one of the nursing homes here does use the Wii quite a bit with their patients, and their patients love it. So yeah. Well, I think I've chattered on long enough. My voice is getting hoarse. Not sure why. But yeah, I'm going to let you go. And other than that, I'll see you soon. The bags will be up in the shop by the time you see this. So I hope you enjoy it. All right, guys. See you guys soon. Have a great week. Bye.